Hi there. So my name is Alessandra Olvera, and today I'll be talking about Cesare Lombroso and how he saw how physical appearances make you born as a criminal, or like even if you were born with like mental illnesses and stuff like that, like that can still be considered that you're marked as a criminal, or that you are gonna have or commit future crimes, or just targeted basically in a way. And so really he so in the beginning you have to start, like, if you forehead, I think I've been one of them, he said monkey arms, long arms, ears, an excessive amount of wrinkles. Like if you had any of the over like either five or more of these characteristics, that already off the bat you're marked as a criminal. Which is kind of unfair. It's you shouldn't really judge a person by the forehead, or the size of their arms or anything like that. And one of the main ones that he really was like, okay, criminal off the bat, were tattoos. Like tattoos were the main thing that, like, he's like, yes, like that's a criminal right there, like, and so after watching the video and stuff, he not only was it physical appearances, but it was traits. So like if you were born with a mental illness or anything like that, I think you were even referred to as an idiot. That's what they would call them, and another word that I prefer not to use. But he said that even these, that they too were considered criminals, or like marked as criminals, which is super unfair. And yeah, the past was like not the best of handling all of that. Another thing that he talked about that I when looked over in the PowerPoint was that he had trained, or not trained, but so detectives were trained to at a first glance, in a way it's profiling, but he had trained them to what to see. So for instance, like there was after in the PowerPoint, there was like a graph of pictures of people, of men, and it was like A, B, and then I think it was like H, E. And so the top ones were like how shoplifters look like. And those are more, I wouldn't say attractive, but they're more they don't look like the bottom chart. The bottom chart is the ones where they look a little bit like he's trying to make it seem like unattractive, like, again, long arms, big noses, jaw, stuff like that, cheekbones, um lips, even that those are like murderers, and those are like people that commit the most, like, m- worst crimes. So he had him, like, he had an A, he had a B. A B were like swindlers, whatever. And then the H category were like purse snatchers, which is very oddly specific. But he had him categorized, and he had said that the detectives were like, at first glance, were trained to, like, okay, well, that's a this, which is not fair, because you're being viewed or judged off the bat by having a big forehead or something. Oh, you're a purse snatcher. Oh, which is not. That's not. And so, speaking of lips, I even in the PowerPoint, it had said that people with big lips, and something with the ear, like little big ears, that marked as a sex offender. Which, like, what, like. So no, that one too is like, that's how he saw it, Cesar. Um, and so, so I actually, in the question, in the assignment, it was what sets offenders apart from others. And it's what we went over in class. Really, it was one of the things is sociopath and psychopath. Lack of remorse, or the ability to hide it well, and stuff like that. Like, that's a really big one. Another one would be the trauma they experienced, as if they were kids, or past trauma, or anything like that, any type of abuse or anything like that. That too could set them apart from, like, non criminals and stuff like that. And then another one is like the environment they're in, the neighborhood they live in, and just how they grew up and stuff, like how their family is with them and everything. So that too is what really sets them apart too. Um, but yeah, they're just because you have a big forehead, like, all of a sudden I'm considered a purse snatcher or anything like that, or like having big lips and big ears, I'm a sex offender. Like, that's, I don't know. Profiling still exists nowadays, to a certain extent. but not to the point where like, okay, I have long arms, I'm marked as a criminal. So no, it profiling over time, it got better, it got more accurate, it raises some red flags, but not to the point where like, okay, off the bat you're a criminal, you know. So that's my answer for this one. But yeah, thank you so much.